everybody! Today I'm bringing you my favorite films of 2017. 2017 was a really great year for movies, starting the list with Baby Driver. Action movies are usually not my favorites. Movies with cars and guns and war and stuff like that are usually not the movies that I prefer watching because I just don't really feel connected to them. But this one was so much different than what I was expecting. Baby Driver is about a getaway driver. It was fun, it was colorful, the editing, the music were definitely my favorite things about this movie. It's a film with so much style and it's so unique that there is no way that you can't have a great time when you watch it. The next movie is called Bandaid. This movie is about a couple who have been together for many years, but they have been losing their spark. They've been fighting a lot about trivial things like dishes. So they decide to turn those fights into songs and they decide to create a band. And through these songs, they are able to actually talk about the things that are bothering them about the other person without wanting to kill each other. It's a very fun and charming movie. I was very pleasantly surprised by the music and the songs in it because they were actually really good and really catchy. The director, Zoe Lister-Jones, had an all-female crew, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, it's just a movie that I enjoyed a lot. I didn't really see it playing anywhere and I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it, but I think it's a hidden gem and it's a very, very enjoyable movie. Next movie is The Disaster Artist. Oh, hi Mark. At first, I didn't really want to watch this movie because I just thought it was gonna be just another comedy by Seth Rogen and James Franco. Boy, was I wrong. The Disaster Artist is about the making of the 2003 movie The Room. I had never seen The Room before, I hadn't even heard of it, but I watched it before I watched I watched it before watching The Disaster Artist so I could understand better what the movie was about, and it's a horrible movie. The acting is horrendous, nothing makes sense, the story has so many loose ends, but the guy that made it, Tommy Wiseau, who was also the director, the writer, the producer, the lead actor, he's such a weird character. You want to keep investigating about him and knowing more about him even though like he's just totally crazy. And The Disaster Artist is about him and the making of his movie The Room. I think The Disaster Artist did a great job at really caring for this guy who is just so completely crazy, because I found myself really caring for his character, and it was just a very hilarious movie. I recommend that you watch The Room before you watch it, and you can find that movie on YouTube. That's how I watched it. The next movie is Coco. I already made a review about this movie, so you know how I feel about it if you watched it, but I think Coco is one of Pixar's best movies. It's about a boy in Mexico who is trapped in the world of the dead and has to find his way out while fighting for his love of music and his love for his family. This movie made me laugh, it made me cry a lot. The music was just so beautiful. This movie will pull at your heartstrings like no other Pixar film. Easily became my second favorite Pixar movie because nothing, and I say nothing, will ever top Finding Nemo. My next movie is called Your Name. Your Name was technically released in 2016, but it wasn't released in the US until 2017, and I watched it in 2017, so I'm counting it in, okay? Your Name is one of the most beautiful movies I have ever seen in my life. It's a Japanese animated movie about a boy and a girl who swap bodies. He lives in the city and she lives in a more rural part of Japan. This movie is so unpredictable. I was bawling my eyes out throughout the whole movie, and I wasn't the only one. The whole theater was crying with me. Yeah, I don't want to say more than that, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Only 2 more movies left, my top 2 movies of 2017.
Actually, I'm gonna have to stop you right there, Monica. There's another movie that I hadn't watched when I filmed this video, and it's definitely in my top 3. and that is I, Tonya. I, Tonya is the movie about Tonya Harding, who was an Olympic figure skater. She was banned for life from competing after there was an attack of a fellow skater, and it was believed that the perpetrators were Tonya, her husband, and her bodyguard. This movie is absolutely hilarious, but not only that, it's so entertaining and it actually makes you understand and feel for Tonya's story. Margot Robbie was extremely convincing, and I was blown away not only by her but also Allison Janney as Tonya's mom. Like I said, definitely in my top 3 movies of 2017, so I had to get it in here. Now let's take a look at the top 2.
Next one is The Shape of Water. I know I've said that all of these movies are beautiful, but trust me when I say no other movie of 2017 was filmed as beautifully as The Shape of Water. This movie is about a woman who works as a cleaning lady at this lab. In this lab, a mysterious water creature is brought in, and of course humans are being horrible to it, but she sees this creature and the creature sees her as herself, not as this person who can communicate. He is this water monster who can't speak. She is this person who can't speak, but somehow they can communicate and understand each other so well. The colors in this movie always make you feel like you're underwater. The greens and the blues are just so pleasant to look at. And the story and the fantasy, everything just makes it one of the best movies of the year. Guillermo del Toro won Best Director at the Golden Globes for this movie, and it was so well deserved, and I expect a lot more awards coming its way because it deserves it for sure. And now my top movie of 2017, Lady Bird. Lady Bird is a coming-of-age story about a girl who is trying to find her path both in high school and in life after high school. It sounds like such a normal premise for a coming-of-age movie, but I assure you it's so much more than that. Lady Bird is such a breath of fresh air when it comes to coming-of-age stories. The interactions between Lady Bird and her mother are just so real and raw. I went to see this with 2 of my friends, and when it ended, we all identified with Lady Bird and her mom. Greta Gerwig was able to capture what it's like to be a teenager so perfectly. I love that Greta Gerwig didn't make Lady Bird to seem like this rebellious, angsty cliche of a teenager. Sure, Lady Bird was still rebellious at some points, but it still felt like she was a real teenager, excited about a boy, mad at her parents, hating her hometown. Everything about this movie from start to finish, it was delightful. I really hope that Greta Gerwig gets nominated for the Academy Awards because she wasn't for the Golden Globes, which I thought was totally unfair, especially since Lady Bird won Best Film and also Saoirse Ronan won Best Actress. So I think it was very unfair for Greta Gerwig not to be nominated, but I really hope that she is for the Academy Awards because there is nothing I didn't like about Lady Bird, and that is why it's my favorite movie of 2017. Now I know I left out some movies that are receiving a lot of praise, but it's because I haven't watched them yet, but this is the list of the movies that I have still yet to watch, and I'm going to do so. And they are Call Me By Your Name, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Molly's Game, I really want to watch Ingrid Goes West. If I didn't mention any of your favorite movies of 2017, please let me know in the comments what were your favorite movies, because I really want to know and I really want to watch great movies. So if I haven't seen it, I will give it a go depending on how much you like it. Please let me know your own list. I'm really curious to see if you like the same movies that I like, but maybe in different orders. If you love Lady Bird as much as I do, let me know. I don't know, I get very excited about movies. Also, I was thinking of doing some kind of reviews on my Instagram, but maybe not in video form. Maybe I'll make an Instagram post about them. We'll see. Sorry if I sound different, I'm very sick at the moment. Okay, I'll see you guys some other time in another video. Bye. Also, please like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, bye.